Now, we haven't actually told these guys they're never coming home. At some point, they're probably going to figure it out, although they are Kerbals, so they might not. You agree there should be a reverse mode where you have everything unlocked but have to balance the money? I'm not sure what that, if that would be fun. Maybe if you didn't kill your pilots, you'd have a good one. Yeah, well, Jebediah had it coming. He looked at me funny. It looks like we're going to have lots of Delta V to complete this maneuver, which means we'll be able to do some fine-tuning with this engine as well, which is great, because I really would prefer not using any of this fuel until it's time to do our retro burn to finally stop us from, you know, squashing into Duna. Feeling all right here. Feeling really good. I love how spiky this is. Yeah, it is like a porcupine. It's full of quills. I thought about bringing the giant solar panels too, but I don't think they're required. And can you retract the giant ones? Do they swoosh back in? I think they must. But I was worried, like, what if I land on Duna next to a slope or something like that, and then, like, I extend it and it smashes into the slope? That would be really awkward. Okay, just try to stay on target on the maneuver node. I'd rather not overkill this maneuver and then save a little bit of room for some tweaking, because sometimes just because of a little drift and other things like that, it doesn't end up being quite right anyway. Okay, see, it's starting to, like, want to disappear here. It's a little hard to stay on. Let me do a little bit of minimal burn. Very slow. There's a good chance there's going to need to be some fine-tuning regardless. So I'm gonna call it there for now. Do we have an encounter? Yes, we do, which is the important thing. So now we can take a look at Duna. Focus on Duna. What is our encounter going to look like? Damn, quite far away, which is not a surprise. Duna is there. Ike's there. We're just barely encountering it, but we can tweak that pretty easily. I just need to make sure that my maneuver node is on my current track and not the next track. So focus view. And click on that maneuver. This I don't think is the right place to do normal, anti-normal burns. Oh, also, we're coming around this on the wrong side. We would like to come in on the opposite side. So there we go. Just a tiny little bit of radial swings us over. And then I don't think this is the right place for a normal burn, or apparently it is. There we go. Almost equatorial. Look, 31 meters per second. That's still 2 million. Still quite far, actually. But it's going to get very finicky here to do this. In fact, just executing this maneuver correctly is going to be tricky. Okay, I'm going to say that's close enough for this maneuver, because there's just a good chance that I'm just going to slip and my maneuver is going to go crazy one way or another. So in 5 days, we'll do a slight corrective burn, and then we'll do another one after that. So let me go and center myself over here again, switch over here. We're going to derate our engine, because this is going to be a fairly fine-tuned maneuver. And we are going to fast forward to our maneuver node. I mean, I could have done the maneuver node closer to where I am, but this is fine. This is fine. 2, 1, and change. I'm just going to slow down now. Let's take a look at our science lab process. We have 135 science sitting in the lab right now. I'm going to transmit some of it. Look at that. We still have tons of data. The conversion rate from data to science is unbelievable. We are going to get a sick amount of science. Even sicker if we actually manage to land on Duna and convert all the Dunan science to research data, which then converts into higher science. Then we ship that home. We can get thousands of science out of this mission. I mean, just the research, the value of the data on Duna is very high. There we go. So we shipped a little bit. So that emptied out the science, but the data is still there. Just crazy amounts of it. Okay. Let's get ourselves vaguely pointing towards the maneuver node, which I want to do well before we get there. It's lying about 3 seconds. That's using our own old burn rates. We're going to be about 10 times longer than that because of the way I've derated the engine. There you go. And you can use, it's a little trick to stop the rotation. Just go ahead and time warp a little bit. It's fine. You know, a little bit of engine abuse, but there we go. Yeah, so we're 5 hours away now, not 5 days. 4, 3, well, 3 and change, 2 and change, 1 and change 0. So let's go ahead and stop the time warp to make sure we don't overshoot. And then we'll go at times 10. Actually, I think we can go at times 100, and that's fine. Yeah. So we're in the 50s. Okay, a little faster. Oh, I still wasn't going at times 100. Okay, I was going at... I see. 38. Bum, 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 bum. Ike visit. I don't know. We'll see. If we happen to do an Ike flyby here, but we're not. It looks like we're going to bypass it. And we don't have a ton of Delta V. And we don't have a lot of our handy tools that we'd often use to calculate some of these things. So I don't think... An Ike flyby would be really nice. I should have started it already, because I was going to say this is going to be a much longer burn. So I started my burn a little late. That being said, the distances involved here, it's such a tiny little fraction of a difference from my location. I don't think it's going to make a difference. So I'm at 100% throttle right now, but remember, I've gone and limited my throttle to like 7%? 9%. Well, I guess I could go ahead and increase my thrust limiter, and then the burn would be over a little bit faster. But we're drifting a little bit. Hold on, let me correct my position here. Gosh, that's tricky. Tricky. And then, all right, I'm going to have to call that good enough, because right now it's getting too hard to make it a precise move. We still have an encounter. It's going to be pretty damn close. Wow. Seriously, right now we're going to be 30-ish because of noise from wobble and different things. Actually, if I time warp a bit, it'll cancel that. Just a little over 30 kilometers above the Duna. Actually, this is atmospheric at this point. This might literally be where we want to be when we come in. We're coming around from the correct side, so we're going to be orbiting around in the direction that Duna rotates. I don't know how low in the atmosphere we want to hit. God, I can't believe we still have about 20% of our fuel here, and we've basically executed the maneuver that we wanted this for. We still have 20% of our fuel, maybe a little less, I don't know. Huh. God damn. It's only rocket science. How hard could it possibly be? I'm gonna warp, yeah, some ways in, and then transmit some science again. You want to land those probably a little... Yeah, I think because the atmosphere, the Martian, I was going to say, the Dunan atmosphere is so thin, I think we do need to come in lower, because I don't think we're going to get enough aerobraking over there. I think it might be enough aerobraking to potentially stop us from going outside of Duna, but that's it. So I'm going to check the ship, the science. Another 140 science, we're going to transmit that. Does use a fair amount of energy here, but we got lots. Just going to transmit that, and yeah, I'll probably right now try to make a maneuver that lands us a little bit closer. What, like 10K maybe? Someone's saying sub 15 for aerobraking? Like literally just sub 15? Like if I ended up at 14, people think that would be thick enough? Better to airbrake in 2 passes, and maybe. It would certainly make each pass a little less hot. So let me go right over here. Add a maneuver, focus on Duna. And I think what we wanted was, I think a little bit more radial over here, don't we? Oh, it's going to be hard to grab this, though. Because anti-radial, yeah, definitely wrong. Problem is, there we go. I need to be able to see. I guess I can mouse over, oh, there we go. I can mouse over the parry. But it's going to be such a tiny microscopic movement here. Oh yeah, look at that. 0.3 delta V changes us from 32 kilometers above the surface to inside the planet. So we're going to wait to do these maneuvers, I think, until we're in the sphere of influence of Duna. We can also do a slight correction to our normal to be a bit more level. Obviously, it's going to take more delta V, but it's going to mean, like, line noise isn't going to go and interfere with our maneuver here. Like, just the vibration of the Kerbals walking around our ship right now could throw us off our course. So, not good. So, we're going to go ahead and time warp over here. 112 days later. So, our mission time is going to take us about a year to arrive here. What's a year in Kerbal time? Is it 300 days exactly or 400 days? It's something like that. It's not 356. I don't remember. Oh, that's right. I have to go into orbit for the mission. I forgot completely about that. We will not complete them. I was going to bring a satellite for that. You know, with the aerobraking at 30K, plus our engines, I wonder if we can orbit. Like, if I literally did nothing right now. If I literally did nothing right now. Except maybe burn normal. Just straighten this out a little bit. I would clip the atmosphere a bit. Could I enter into orbit? I'm worried about burning my ass end here, but... Oh, just fixing the normal actually was... Put us inside. Kerbal year is 426 days? Oh. So what do we think? Yeah, maybe we'll just do that. Just quick save and try and, you know, what could possibly go wrong, right? Think I have enough fuel to enter orbit without aerobraking? I don't believe that's true at all. Well, I guess, no, a really long orbit, a really high orbit. I mean, especially if we get something off a moon, but... Oops, I'm facing the wrong way. It's radial in I want to be aiming for right now to try to increase my orbit a little higher. I mean, obviously, this is bad. We don't want a path that makes us smack into the planet. Lithobraking is not what we're looking for. 15 to 20. 30K Duna has 0 atmospheric pressure. Oh, yeah, that's the other thing I guess I could check, actually, is... Duna, where does your atmosphere start? Yeah, you have, like, no atmosphere, sort of regardless. Wow. It is really thin there. We're not going to get much aero at all. That's too high to be useful for anything. I forgot that I'd brought that up. Yes, I saw orbit for the mission. We will try. We'll do a quick save and see how it goes. Just going to bring this back a little bit. All right. Okay, we're going to aim for this to see if we can't enter orbit. I'm going to make a hard save now, because it might turn out to be completely bad, in which case, you know, we'll come back to it. Maybe orbit? Save. What's the worst that can happen? Everyone dies. So, you know, that's okay. Kerbals are used to that. So we may come back to this. This is going to be interesting to learn. The shroom ablator should provide an orbit. Maybe. I mean, part of me wonders, like, no, to actually burn, we would need more delta V than we've got. I think we've got somewhere around 500 delta V left. Kerbal delta V. Yeah, I think we need about we need about 500, I think. We might be surprisingly okay. I might have been able to just try, like, a full burn. We might be coming in a little low. Well, you know, worst case scenario, hopefully the whole ship doesn't just explode if I come in too low, and I'll still have time to deploy my aerobrake. But yeah, I forgot that our mission required us to orbit this thing. And my plan was just to deploy a random little satellite. A teeny tiny light little satellite. Well, we got a quick save. And we are currently... And then we'll have to actually be able to deorbit as well, but right now that's going to happen. We are currently in high orbit around Duna. I'm going to say Mars again. So, we can run all our experiments, if I can find them. Oh, just stability assist, please. Park you in there. And speaking of, you got science? Yeah. I'm going to let the transit finish so that we start to generate electricity again. Oh, we might run out of juice a little bit here. But if I time warp, time warping does not speed up your data transmission. So it actually effectively slows down your data transmission in relative to real time, but it does affect your electric charge. So you can, by time warping a little bit, you can cause your data transfer to finish properly. It's basically the same thing as just slowing down your data transit. So you use a little bit less power, so bonus. Good. Let's get the mystery goo. Store that. There we go. Log temperature. And we'll do the barometer in a second here. The SAS is having a hell of a time stabilizing. It's because this ship has very few reaction wheels, and it's quite big and heavy. Okay. All that's in there. We're going to let that finish, get stored, and we'll clean the experiments. And we'll see what we can do. I want to see someone drop into a stable orbit using only aerobraking. Well, you can't go into a stable orbit using only aerobraking because your periapsis will be in the atmosphere. And braking does not change where your periapsis was. In fact, it'll probably drop it a little bit. So you can aerobrake into a good apoapsis, but when you go back around to the apoapsis, you will have to burn prograde a bit to raise the periapsis from out of the atmosphere. So there's no way to simply aerobrake into a stable orbit. It's like literally impossible. First milestone. First flyby of Duna. Gathered first scientific data from Duna. Excellent. So I'm going to do a regular quick save here. We still have a hard save for where we want to be. And I guess... I mean, I am going to face myself retrograde. Because if anything's going to be hitting the atmosphere at all, it's going to be this whole thing. I'm not sure that it can. I mean, here's the thing. If my periapsis is in the atmosphere, but still above the ground, does that count as being orbital? I don't know. I'm quite curious, actually, and I don't know. God, this thing's having... It turns like... I don't know. Turns like a drunk cow. Alright, let's see what happens. If we burn up, we burn up. No, it doesn't. Technically, yes. Excellent. I love it when we get conflicting information. Answer. No one knows. Well, as long as we survive, if we do this with our engines intact, to the point where we have a closed orbit, and we got a periapsis, and I can just burn a little prograde there to raise us out of the atmosphere, then it'll complete our orbital part of the mission, and then I'll have to turn around, burn retrograde to drop us into the atmosphere again for a full aerobrake. So we're going to find out. Currently, as a reference, we're coming in at just over 15 kilometers. And we don't know if this is going to result in us landing, going orbital, neither, just burning up. Oh god, I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. Can you quickly summarize what you did since you spent those two scientists to update our speed? Oh, we came here. We came to Duna. That's what we did. You know what we should do before we enter the atmosphere? Is we should retract all of our panels. I really wish we'd hotkeyed this before I left. I think there's a mod that lets you change action groups in flight. And that would be quite nice. Because right now, all these solar panels... Oh, and we're going to stop sciencing. Because sciencing is very electrically demanding. And if we don't have any solar panels, then we're not going to do that. And we will go and retract you. We don't actually have to have the antenna extended. It just looks cool. Retract all the panels. Okay. Chuk, chuk, chuk. Yeah, so we're using a little bit of power right now, I think, for the SAS, but that's fine. And actually, the SAS won't get used at all when we go back to time warping. Oh my god, this is like threading the needle here. Given the distance we are away and how close we're going to get there. Beautiful, though. And whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, I'll science on the way out. Although, technically, how far does the atmosphere extend? 50,000. So when we hit 50,000, we could go and run all the experiments. Not store them, because we won't have the electric charge. But as soon as we hit 50,000... Oh, my power! I mean, I suppose I could just save a battery backup here. Like, take one offline. Where's the sun? There it is. There we go. So we're getting that. If we rip off the solar panels going in, it's not too bad. I should have had a few flat panels that wouldn't get ripped off for exactly this. Okay, no idea what's about to happen. $50,000, we enter the atmosphere. And I definitely have to not be time warping going in because it needs enough time for this drunken cow to turn itself properly. We are in low orbit right now. We could science, but no. I'm going to wait. Okay. And yeah, as soon as we hit 50... Actually, I guess what I could do is I could pin open all my science things here to make it easier when we enter. That's not what I meant to do. And 50. You're just gonna... Oh, this counts as space? What? Hang on. In space? I thought the wiki said it started at 50,000. It does. The wiki lies. Turn off the lights. Okay, well, now we're clearly in the atmosphere. It's still in space. Oh, all right. Well, then just shut, because we can do that later on. Okie dokie. I should probably just go into stability system mode. It's not using much power though. So far so good. So 15,000 is as low as we are supposed to go. We'll lose a little bit of our parry here. This is really thin atmosphere. We are getting heat effects. Now this tank is still full of fuel. Remember, we may be reverting pretty aggressively here. I wonder if we did. Can we extend this now? No, we can just jettison it now. No heat meters yet. It is very thin. 19,000. It's going to get a little hotter as we approach 15,000. We're bleeding off a little bit of speed. Currently, we're still not orbital though. So if this doesn't work, we'll revert to the last quick save, and what we'll do is probably not bother with the orbital component of it. We'll just go in for a landing. Oh, things are changing. This is definitely starting to deflect. Still no heat meters. Now I could also burn at this point. And actually, if I'm at my periapsis, 4 seconds. All right, I'm going for full retro burn, which actually will require me to increase the thrust limiter here.